Sexy as that may sound, it is not my story. Reaching burnout. In 2008, I started an outsourcing call center in the Philippines. Live to Sell Inc. focused on outbound lead generation and inbound customer support for small to medium-sized businesses. By the end of that year, we had grown from a small provider with just 7 staff members to a full-fledged call center of 75 full-time employees. My workdays had progressively risen from 11 hours to sometimes 16 hours a day. Even that amount of work and energy dedicated to the business wasn't enough to keep up with the workflow demands, and that's when my own superhero syndrome began to kick in. I believed I could fill every role in my growing business. No matter how much time, energy, or talent something required, I was up for the challenge. I thought there was an unlimited supply of time and energy within me. At this point in the story, my wife gave birth to our son Charlie, making us a family of 5. I did what I could to help out with the daily responsibilities at home while carrying on working long, crazy hours. In late 2009, I found myself burnt out and stressed like never before. I woke up one day and realized something startling. I really didn't have a company. I was the company. Something needed to change. Firing myself. The Greek philosopher Plato said, "Necessity is the mother of invention." If you think about it for a moment, that statement can clarify a lot. It's the reason that people miraculously get work done at the last minute, because they need to. It's the reason that some of your best ideas surface when you're faced with a do-or-die situation, because you must come up with something or face terrible consequences. It's the reason that my good friend Pat Flynn, creator of the online brand Smart Passive Income, found success as a digital entrepreneur after being laid off from his job as an architect, because he had to. And it's the reason that yours truly, Chris Ducker, chose to fire himself from the role of burnt-out, micromanaging CEO, because I needed to. It was the best thing for me, and the best thing for the business. The simple fact was that I could no longer work such crazy hours, while also maintaining a healthy role as a husband and father of 3, so I fired myself. I fired myself from thinking that more of my time and energy was the solution to every problem. I fired myself from being a micromanager, which was causing a bottleneck in a lot of our day-to-day operations. I fired myself from building the business on my shoulders, and instead chose to build it around a system of highly skilled, local, and virtual employees. I'm not saying I fired myself from working, nor am I saying there's anything wrong with work. What I am saying is that I fired myself from specific roles within my organization, roles that were better suited for someone else. This also meant I had to resign certain ways of thinking. I had to stop believing I would somehow work my way to freedom, or that I was only being productive if I was busy doing something. My own superhero syndrome had gotten to the point where I realized that I had to start believing in my staff more in order to allow them to do their jobs without my micromanaging getting in the way of their personal development. The reality is that work and success only create more work and success. So I devised a plan to become a virtual CEO by the end of 2010 and decided to blog about my journey on a regular basis under the banner of Virtual Business Lifestyle, which is now chrisducker.com. I began with small steps, such as taking myself out of the massive amount of email threads I was copied into, hiring additional virtual assistants to manage day-to-day administrative jobs, such as replying to inquiries, hiring a full-time trainer for new recruits instead of handling the training myself, developing an internal management team,